Hey, what's up, y'all? RJ here with CB Tech, and today I'm giving my full review on the LG K3. This is on Boost Mobile, and I've not had this phone very long, but I have used it enough to know how the phone operates and how it works and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you the specs of the phone, play some games, and just go over some of the features of it and tell you what I really think of this phone. So anyway, this phone runs Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. This phone does have a 4.5-inch display at 480 by 854 resolution at 218 pixels per inch. This does have a 5-megapixel camera on the rear with LED flash, records in 720p at 30 frames per second. Also has a VGA front-facing camera that records in VGA video quality max. This phone does run the 1.1 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 210 processor with an Adreno 304 GPU with 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of built-in storage, and around 3.1 GB available to user, and it will support up to a 32 GB micro SD card. It's got a 1940 mAh battery. It is user replaceable with around 14 hours of talk time, and it is 3G, 4G, LTE, and hence LTE compatible with Bluetooth 4.1. So with all that being said, that's all the specs that I'm going to show and mention right now. And let's go ahead and take a look around the phone. Up top here, we do have your ear speaker, your front-facing camera, your 4.5-inch screen, and of course your back, home, and recents button that are all on screen. On the bottom, micro USB charging port, microphone, and standard headset jack. On the left side here is your volume rocker. On the right side is your power button. On top is your secondary microphone here, and on the back is your camera, flash, LG branding, and your rear speaker. We'll go ahead and pull the back cover off, and it will show you the battery that can be removed, your nano SIM card slot there, and micro SD card slot. So yeah, the phone is pretty fragile though. The phone, like I may mention in my first thoughts video, it is cheap feeling. It does snap into place pretty well though. It don't really have any real bad creaks and rattles, nothing like that in it, whatever. But the phone just feels cheap in general. So I wouldn't recommend dropping this phone at all. Power the phone up here. And I may mention in my first impressions video that this phone had a really bad problem with the screen not functioning right. And after a couple of days of using this phone, it seems to have straightened out some. Before I could try to push the, pull the drop down, and I'd sit there and have to swipe and swipe and swipe over and over and over again, and it just would not work. But now, first time, it seemed like it wants to just work just fine. Scrolling pages seems to be pretty smooth now, where when I first got it and first started using it, it just did not want to work properly at all. So, the phone is not terrible, but the phone is not great. I would say the phone is just okay. If you look at the screen here up close, it is pretty clear, of course, with the back wallpaper. It does look brighter on camera than it actually does in person, but the screen for what it is does not look bad. Going to the app drawer, the app drawer here. Now this does not have a app drawer stock. This has got a third-party launcher on it using the Apex launcher, and because I just like the Apex launcher, it seems to run better on his lower end phones in my opinion. So if this is bone stock with a stock launcher, it does not have an app drawer. It's just all on screen, so just go ahead and throw that out there. Let's go into the settings here, and you'll see it does have some pixelation in the screen, but like I said, it's nothing too majorly bad, especially for a budget phone that you can buy at Walmart for around $50 or $80 retail price. It does have let's look at the storage here. It does have 8 GB of storage with around 3.1 gigs available, and right now I have around 1.6 gigs available after downloading all my apps and stuff like that. We'll go down here and verify that it is running 6.1, and it is 6.0.1, and there's the little marshmallow guy there. So But there is times that the screen can be a little too sensitive. There's times that it's not sensitive enough. There's times I have went and pushed into an app and it just does not seem to want to cooperate. And there's times like I can go into the settings here and scroll up and it does just fine. There's times I can just barely flick it and it'll go all the way down to the bottom like it just did. I just barely flicked the screen and it went all the way down to the bottom. So it does have little quirks like that. It is a very low end budget device. Now I would run some benchmark tests on this phone. However, with some LG phones, when you download like Quadrant, Geekbench, all them, it does not want to run the test. It says you turn off network connection, and even when you do that, you can run the test, but it'll say network connection needed. So it says turn it off, but then it says it needs a connection. So I'm not really sure what the problem is there, and I only see that problem with LG devices. Even on my Stylo 2, it's the same way at times. So I want to play a few games. That's what I want to do right now, to kind of just show you how the game works. I got Temple Run 2, which is a pretty low end game. Asphalt Nitro, which is more in a graphic intense game, and then I got Dead Trigger, which is a lot bigger game. But first of all, we're going to go into the dialer here. The dialer here is pretty small. It's smaller than most phones you see, but it's easy to reach and stuff of that nature. We'll also go in here to the messenger, and we'll go ahead and start up a new message here. We'll get it to focus in. And we'll just kind of, this is the LG keyboard, so we'll just and we'll send it to here and look at the messages here. And of course, it does seem to work pretty good. However, I am looking through a small camera screen, so it's kind of hard to see how to type. What's up, but it didn't do it in the, there we go. Yeah, I'm messing up a little bit there, but it is very responsive, and I use swipe more than anything anyhow. So yeah, and of course your emojis are right here, so you have plenty of them to look at. So for every one of y'all out there who likes emojis, like you see there, I was trying to scroll and it showed an emoji. That's just because there's times whenever you're scrolling, it does push apps, it does do things you don't want it to do. But yeah, here are all your emojis and stuff of that nature. So yeah, plenty of them. So let's go ahead right now and run Temple Run 2. We'll show you how the game works, how it looks. Let's just try to zoom in here a little bit. We'll let it load up. And it's taking a few seconds, longer than I figured it would. So this game here don't seem to have much of an issue playing. Sorry for that light glare. But it does react okay without many hiccups, or really any hiccups that I've seen so far. So let's go ahead and go back home. We'll go into Asphalt Nitro. This might take a few seconds here to start up. I'm using a different camera right now, and I'm not able to pause and come back, and I don't really do a lot of editing. So let's go ahead and go in here and set everything up. And wait for this here to set up, because I can't pause it right now. So, like I said, few taps sometimes to get it to cooperate, to get it to work. If you look here at the viewing angles, the viewing angles are not very good, as you can see there on this phone. They're not terrible, but if you look there, you'll see it really kind of washes out a whole lot. But what do you expect? So surprisingly, playing this game right here, I don't see, very many drop frames. I mean, I see a few here and there, but nothing that's really, unbearable and will make it, a really bad experience while playing. So, it does seem to hold up on games, fairly well, without many problems. So let's just go ahead and go back home here. And we're trying to go home here, and well, there we go. And we'll do one more game. We'll play Dead Trigger, and we'll see how that game works on this phone. So let it set up here itself again. And I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, but without being able to pause and start. And this is what happens sometimes. So, but it's all good. Go ahead and play the game. I got it set up already, so we'll just wait. Just gotta wait for it to load up. So as you can see here, just by moving around, I mean, it's pretty smooth. But like I say, I mean, these games right here, there we go. It's freezing up a little bit on me now. So yeah, it does seem to lag up. It does seem to freeze up at times. But like I said, this is a very cheap budget device. And, well, some of the hiccups I had in the past, and with as fragile as the phone feels, like I said, I know that this is a low-end budget device, and it's not going to be for everybody. But, so who would I really recommend this phone to? I'd recommend it for, a kid with their first smartphone. It's small, it's compact, it does have a rear camera, it does have a front camera, and it does seem to play games okay. Now, before you ask me any comments about does it play Pokemon Go, I have no idea. I don't play it. So any phones that I check out or review or whatever, I do not play Pokemon Go. So I cannot answer that question for you. I'm sorry. But most phones like this here does play it okay from what I have heard. So yeah. But the viewing angles, like I said, are kind of bad. But it is a low-end budget device. This phone is around $80 at Boost Mobile stores. And you can get it at Walmart for around $50. Do I think it's worth the money? No, I do not. Would I pay that for it and keep it? No. About $20 is about what I'd pay for this phone if I was going to pick it up. It's just, to me, one of those phones that it's okay, but if you want something to work quick, work fast, then I would spend a few extra dollars, get a phone like the Kyocera Hydro Reach, or the LG Tribute 5, which is really the same price as the K3, and the Tribute 5 is 5 times the phone of the K3. It's just a whole lot better in general. Yes, it has the same specs, the same ROM, same RAM, same processor, but it just seems to work a whole lot better and function a whole lot smoother than the K3. So, do I say this phone here is a pass? Yeah, personally, I gotta say it's a pass, because it does have some glitches and problems here and there. So that's just my thoughts and opinions. Is it a bad phone? No. Is it a good phone? It's fair. You know, so that's just my honest personal opinion of the LG K3 on Boost Mobile. If this was informative and helpful in any way, be sure to hit that like button. I sure would appreciate it. This was helpful, in any way as well. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them for you the best I can. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so. Hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Stay tuned for the next video.